95, 99, 100. अरे 103, 105. फिर मेरी गांड फट गई. This is my longest ride review of the Xpulse 204V. Thanks to Sandeep Uttarwar, who owns this particular bike, for lending it to me, and I am going to Independence Point, Andarban area, that's beyond Ambi Valley, Lonavala. So fairly popular destination for bikers. I wouldn't say super bikers, but bikers, off-road enthusiasts, that kind of thing, adventure enthusiasts, to go here. And I'm gonna talk about how this bike feels to ride for somebody like me. I'm 6'4", I weigh 110 kilos. So ergonomics is the focus, and how it feels to ride. Does the bike give up? How is the seat? All those kind of things. Now let's dive straight into it, and let's start the conversation with the handlebars. Handlebars are nice and wide, as you can see, no issues there. But if I want to do saddling or stand on the pegs, then they are a bit too low. I would prefer to have I would definitely prefer to have what you call handlebar risers, but I think somebody's had a fall. Handlebars nice and wide, good level of control on the bike. But if I'm trying to stand up on the pegs, then the handlebars are a bit too low for me. Risers for somebody my height trying to off-road on this probably become a must have, and that's why I'm gonna tackle this part just sitting down. Also primarily because the suspension is just so good. You can take it, you can take the undulations and the rocks and stuff fairly easily, because it's not affecting you. It's just all the suspension that's taking up the damage, or the effort rather. What else? Let's talk about the mirrors, since they're the next closest thing to the handlebar. Nice and wide. Even with my frame, I'm able to get a good view of what's behind. Yeah, good enough mirrors. Could have been a little bit bigger, but the intention of the motorcycle is not to do too much road duties, right? It's made to do off-roads, where mirrors are, well, obsolete in that sense. So these mirrors, they do a good enough job. Let's talk about the foot pedal, not the foot pedal, the gear lever and rear brake pedal ergonomics. Fairly comfortable. Could have been a little bit longer in that sense, because if you're riding the bike with ADV style boots, the big boots, then maybe you would like to have a slightly longer gear pedal, which would be easier to manage. But not a big point to be concerned about. Seat is a little bit on the harder side, again probably because what the bike is intended to do, off-roads, not much padding, or there is padding, but it's fairly tough and my ass is already hurting, and this is just a 100 odd kilometer ride. On my KTM or the Tiger, I would have been extremely comfortable, whereas on this my butt cheeks are already not in a good state. So the seat could have been a little bit wider and softer in one part to give that little bit of comfort. Right now it's all hard foam. What else? Another ergonomic point that I'd like to discuss is basically the distance between the seat and the foot pegs. I'm 6'4", and because of that I have long calves. That part of my body is again proportional to my height, so my knees are bent into a acute angle. They're about, I think, 75 degrees, maybe around about that. So it's again not uncomfortable but not comfortable either. The KTM was a little bit better in that sense, because there was the distance between the seat and the foot pegs overall was a little bit more. If you increase the seat height by adding more foam or something, you can rectify that and the earlier problem, that is the comfort on the seat. So two birds with one stone. And that's about it in terms of ergonomics. It's a nice nifty little bike for your off-road rides, your Sunday rides, as well as your city commutes. It's nimble enough, but anybody who likes to do serious twisties, canyon carving, that kind of stuff, should probably give it a miss, because the front suspension is fairly wallowy. On broken roads and all, it performs really well, but here it is a bit in the canyons or the twisties, it is a little bit wallowy. It doesn't give you the right feedback. You feel like you're losing the front fairly often when you're actually not, but it can also cause the bike to kind of slide out from under you, because you're not aware of how far you have pushed the bike in that sense. Baki kya? Riding it on the highway, I was able to get it to go to up to 105, and I think it would have gone further also, but then the engine just was feeling a little bit overworked. But at 80-85, the bike was very smooth, even with my weight on it. If you load it up further, maybe that envelope drops to like 80 at the top end, and then you can of course press the bike a little bit more if you're okay taking on the vibes. What are some must-have accessories on this bike for taller riders? You have to definitely look at handlebar risers. It will make the experience a little bit more comfortable. If you are a heavy guy like me, maybe a little bit of change in the seat foam will also add a lot to the comfort factor. And aux lights would be a good addition. The stock headlight is not so good, but you also get the headlight replacement kits. I think it's called Spitfire or something. You can look into that as well. But apart from that, must consider if your budget is sub 2 lakhs. I think now the bike retails for 1.7 or something like 1.68 or something. So it's a must consider for taller riders who are looking for a do-it-all machine that they can take for long tours, off-roading, city commutes. Basically the one bike garage, this is a very good option because it can do it all, and it does everything reasonably well, apart from going ham on the twisties, which is a very small percentage of most journeys anyways. It isn't a sports bike or a super sport. It is a adventure off-roader kind of a bike, and it excels in those fields that it's meant to do. So yeah, I would recommend this, especially if you are lighter and you don't like touring at high speeds. If you like touring at high speeds, or you want to cruise at 100, 110, something like that, no replacement for displacement rule applies here. It's a 200cc bike. It can get to 90, 95 easily, and it's comfortable staying there. Beyond that is pushing the bike and the engine. You can do it, but then it just feels like way too much effort for the bike. And that sums it up. If you have any questions regarding the ride quality and anything that you think you need to know about the motorcycle before buying, use the comment section or reach out to me on Instagram. My handle name is the same, Tall Guy Rides, and you can ask away, and I'll be happy to respond to the best of my knowledge on the bike. I might actually also be taking this for a longish tour, so I'll probably release a video related to that as well a little bit later. So how does the Xpulse do in a touring scenario? So if that's something that's interesting to you, stay tuned to the channel. Subscribing is the best way to do that. You can also use that bell notification thingy. I'm a small channel, and if you have watched this video, do consider subscribing. It definitely motivates me to make more such content, which is specifically aimed at taller riders, but I think there is some takeaway for just about everybody in that space. So yeah, like the video. If you think it was good, please consider subscribing and sharing the channel with your friends, especially tall rider buddies. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.